You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Keeping Up with Conroe, hosted by Visit Conroe. I'm Jody.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are here to highlight upcoming events and local businesses in the area. We are here live on the second Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. And after the show airs, we will post on podcast, YouTube, and all the fun stuff. So tune in regularly to Keeping Up with Conroe. And today, Rebecca, we have you here. You're filling in for Shannon.
Hello again.
You're becoming a regular.
Yes, I am.
I like having you on here.
Yeah.
It's fun. So today we have some cool guests.
Excited.
We will have Gary Bates and Lydia Joyner with the Conroe Kennel Club. We will have Mike with the Texas Custom Knife Show. And then, of course, our favorite councilman, Jody Chakowski, will be here later talking about FaithFest. So what about this weather? It's cold.
A little cold.
I want
So
fall.
got my coat on.
Right?
So
I want the fall back. I mean, we had it for about a minute and a half, and now it's gone.
we went straight into winter.
We did. I know. I read somewhere we were supposed to have flurries this morning.
Me too. I saw that.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad I didn't see the actual flurries.
They're coming, though.
I know. It's inevitable. All right. Well, let's get right into the Conroe Kennel Club. Hi.
Hi,
How are y'all doing?
We're great.
Good. I'm glad y'all came on. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the Conroe Kennel Club. Tell us about it.
The Conroe Kennel Club is an AKC dog club, really, basically. The AKC has probably been in existence, I think, around 150 years. And we have what's called confirmation dog shows, where each breed is judged by a judge for their particular breed and their particular standard. They're all purebred dogs. Okay. And we have one a year here in Conroe. It's a fantastic event that we have, and it's become an extremely large dog show. I can't ask any other questions you may have.
Absolutely. So the Conroe Kennel Club, how long has it been in operation, your specific club?
I believe it's right at 40 years.
Okay. And it's quite a club. Y'all have grown tremendously over the years.
Yes. We have probably 30 to 35 members, which is an extremely large amount for a kennel club. All of them generally own purebred dogs.
Okay. And so what are the ages of some of your members?
Well, you're not going to believe this. We have children that we call juniors that show dogs. Mm-hmm. And we've had as young as 6-year-old people, or kids, show dogs at a dog show in our juniors program. And you're in a junior program up to you're 18, okay? And then you become an active member as an adult. And there is no age limit there. Everybody, we got old people like me that
so these these kids, that takes a lot of determination, a lot of focus. That's amazing to have kids.
I guess I'm the kid wrangler.
Are you?
The kid wrangler, yeah, definitely. So, and it's always fun for the kids. And even though we promote the breeding of purebred dogs, and so really dog shows are started more like for our fellow people that show pigs or cattle. It's started as a breeding program, so you're bringing your stock, and it's being evaluated by a judge, and that judge is helping you determine who to breed to make the breed better.
Right.
Like, for example, I show beagles, and so I take my dogs to the dog show, and the judges help me to decide which beagle I'm going to breed next so that I have a bigger, better beagle.
Right.
That can find the rabbits out in the world, although they're really more interested in squirrels. So you start with that, but then there are events for people who have mixed breeds. They can register mixed breed dogs, and those are what we call performance events. And we do have that at the Kennel Club show. We have Rally, which is like it's like they set up different traffic cones inside of a ring, and you have to make your dog do a certain command at each of the stations. Like they might have to sit, or then you might walk in a circle to the left, or might walk in a circle to the right, or you might weave through some cones. And so that's rally. And then we also do obedience. And then we also are going to do, is it fast cat or is it cat?
Cat trials.
Cat trials. And those are kind of cool. It's not like a cat like meow. It's coursing ability test trial. So they
Wow.
have this thing where it's a string and they tie a baggie on it and the string goes choom through the field and the dog chases it.
Okay.
And the dog chases it back, and it's timed. So it's a time running event.
Okay.
And it's pretty fun to watch, and it's kind of crazy because some of the dogs are like super like into it, and it's really a lot of fun. So we do have things for all dog lovers, and one of the things that we promote too is responsible dog ownership, whether it's a pure breed or not. But the biggest purpose that we serve is the breeding stock side of it, because we're making, remember, the bigger, better beagle. He breeds Malinois and German Shepherds, bigger, better Shepherds. And we have all kinds of breeders in our club. So, and yes, you do start when you're little. My son started when he was 10,
Wow.
I believe, doing this, and he's still a member of the kennel club even though he's in college, because your whole family can join. So it is a wide age.
So when you train these dogs, how do you do that? I mean, that takes a lot of time, right? I mean, I have a dog, and
Well, it does take a lot of time.
she's pretty, but she couldn't do any of
It
this.
does take a lot of time, and the amount of time also depends on the dog themselves. Like, for example, when I started this journey with my son, he went to an agility class, and at the agility class, my friend was like, "Oh, your son should show dogs." And so then they said, "Oh, well, your son should get a pure breed dog." So then that's why we started. So we started with mixed breed dogs, and we did that through the 4-H Dog Project. And so we did that, and those mixed breed dogs were really rough. They were hard to train because they don't come from stock that's bred for that purpose.
Right.
So it was a lot harder. It's an everyday event. My son had to go and work with those dogs at least 10 or 15 minutes a day, every day. And then we got started with the pure breed dogs, and we got a little beagle, and she actually won the state 4-H agility
Wow.
thing for the whole state of Texas one year, and then the next year she didn't want to do it anymore.
She was tired.
She's like, "No, I'm just pretty," is what she said. So, but she was a lot easier to train, but a lot of that is because of the stock that came behind her. I as a breeder also breed for a dog that's trainable. I breed for a dog that wants to work. Just like when you see like police dogs and those dogs, sniffing dogs and all those different things, they're all bred for a purpose.
Right.
And so those dogs tend to be a little bit easier to train than other dogs. So how long it takes to train a dog depends dog to dog, and the background and the pedigree of the dog as well, and the breed. So every breed is bred for a purpose. Mine are beagles, and so they're supposed to be bred to hunt rabbits. So mine are bred to, the standard says they should be able to run until they die from exhaustion. So that's why people get frustrated with beagles, because beagles they're stubborn, because they're bred, and they're bred to do that. So you can't get mad at them for being stubborn, because that's who they are.
Right.
But you can make that work for yourself. Like you can, work them out, take them for long runs, those kind of things, and give them things to do that keep their mind occupied, so they're not looking for the squirrel all the time.
Right.
And
That's
just
my
like
dog.
like your dogs are bred to herd things.
I raised German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois. The dogs that you see the police have now are called Belgian Malinois. They're not German Shepherds.
Okay.
But they're part of what's called the herding breeds, and they're basically a herding dog. But needless to say, they do protection and all that other stuff. That's why they're so popular.
So I have a German Shepherd, and we love her, and we baby her, and she couldn't do any of this.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
We always tell everyone when they knock on the door and they see her, and they immediately jump back, and we're like, she's just cute to look at.
You'd be surprised. I'm always, but a lot of all of that stuff that we enjoy as dog enthusiasts and dog owners goes back to the work that we do as a kennel club, making sure that that breed is strong and that the pedigree behind it is also really good too. And so that goes into that wonderful German Shepherd pet that you have that maybe Gary didn't want to show, but makes a wonderful family pet.
Right.
Well, that's because there was a whole line of wonderful German Shepherds behind that dog that made her. And so that's what dog shows do, is we present our dogs to the judge, and the judge is saying, yeah, that one's good. That one's got problems. Like last weekend, my dog didn't behave in the ring.
Oh no.
And the judge was like, both these dogs are beautiful, but this dog did not behave. So I'll give the ribbon to the other dog. I was like, okay, thank you. I'll call my dog Trainwreck. But it helps. And
Right.
so in the end, it all bleeds down to the homeowner as well. So we hope that people come out and look at the show. We have a lot of fun. And we want kids to come. We're even doing an art contest this year. So we're
Yes.
super excited about that.
So let's talk about
So-
this art show.
So we sent out notices to all the county high schools. So it's only open to the high school kids this year because we're trying to just kind of get our feet wet into this art world. And someone from the, what do they call it? The art group here in Conroe. I forget the name of them.
Conroe Art League?
Yes, Conroe Art League is going to help us judge. And so we have 3 different categories. It's companion, dogs with a companion, dog portrait, and dog in action. And so the kids can get a $100 prize
Oh, that's
for
awesome.
winning the first place. And then we have an extra $50 for best in show and an extra $25 for reserve best in show. And we'll have a crowd, what do we call it? Crowd favorite, People's Choice Award. And I ordered super obnoxious dog show ribbons for this thing.
That's
so
awesome.
The kids are going to get like dog show style ribbons. It's going to be fantastic. So I'm excited. I don't know how many kids are going to enter. We'll know, by the deadline. The deadline's the week before Thanksgiving. So
So
we'll see.
you send it to all the art teachers at the high school. So if there are children that are students that are interested, they just need to get with the art teachers
Correct.
and fill out the entry
Correct.
form.
Fill out the entry form, and then there's all the directions are on the back of the entry form because they'll have to actually bring it to Conroe High School to turn it in.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So now let's talk about this upcoming event that we have, this little dog show that's become quite a big dog show. When is it?
It's Thanksgiving weekend. The reason this show's grown so much, people don't realize probably the largest dog show in the United States is held in Houston in July. And a lot of us are members of that club too. And we've patterned ourselves trying to get bigger and bigger like that show.
Right.
And this year it's a 3-day show. On the first day we have what's called a combined specialty, and all we're doing is judging that particular breed that they're in that day. But Saturday and Sunday is called a confirmation show, where you're eventually getting to the point where you have a best in breed dog for the whole day, where you're literally judging all the dogs against each other at the end.
Wow. And so it's going to be at the fairgrounds.
Yes, it's at the fairgrounds. We also have what we call vendors there, people who sell a lot of different items related to the dog world and some not.
Right.
We have food at the show. We try to have just about as much activity as you can possibly find.
Right. So I know that 4-H, you have 4-H members that are join this. So I know you're part of the 4-H club, and it's called the Conroe Dog.
Well, now it's the Montgomery County 4-H Dog Project.
There it is.
Club.
Okay. So how many kids are a part of that group?
I don't know anymore because I don't go to the actual
Ah.
meetings anymore since my son's not in it. I get to just volunteer, which is
Wow,
so much
what's
fun.
that like?
I know, it's really awesome. So I know that each year we do a beginner's test, and so far we've passed at least 8 kids with their dogs this year. So then I think there's like another 12 active members on top of that just for the county alone for that club right now, and then they add members every year. So
So my girlfriend's children are part of that club, and I
okay.
get to see all of their fun Facebook posts.
They also have a show once a year at the fairgrounds
Yes, in February.
February. And I go out there to help. All of the members of our club try to go out and help, and we'll judge and be ring stewards.
Right.
So it's been a great asset to have the two organizations
Right.
work together.
Yeah, and that's through the extension office with
Right.
Michelle
Correct.
Mahalik. And
Oh, yes.
So I'm a 4-H parent myself. They will evict me this year, though.
well, so I'll ask you the question: have you worked on your record book lately?
No, not at all. She's a senior this year, so I think senior status has hit us a little bit, and so there will probably not be one this year.
I understand.
But we do pigs. So we do the pigs. Last year we had, a heifer, so we do the bigger animals. So what can one expect at the show this year? At the dog show this year?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
What can one expect at the show?
Do you mean how does it work every day?
Yeah.
What we do is, I'm glad you brought that up. You have different breeds judged all the time. The Beagles judge only against the Beagles. And then the best Beagle moves on to what's called their group. Like we talked about, herding, sporting, non-sporting, toy,
Right.
terrier. Those are the different groups. And those dogs from all those different breeds that are in that group compete against each other in the group. And there you have 7 different groups. And eventually, the number one dog in that group goes in to compete for best in show. That sounds like a slow process, but it takes all day
Takes
long.
all day.
Right.
I can remember we used to own a golden retriever that we showed. And at one show, there were 225 of them. It took
Wow.
all day long to judge
Right.
just the goldens.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of like if you think about a stock show.
Mm-hmm.
So I take my beagle in, and she's a class bitch because she's a female dog.
Right.
And so she goes in for the classes. So she competes against the other. Well, she used to. She's used to compete against the other dogs that aren't champions.
Mm-hmm.
So there she goes. So you find the best girl that's not a champion already, and then you find the best boy that's not a champion already. Then they all have to. Then all the dogs that are already champions come in and compete, and that's how they find
Yep.
the best breed. So you might call that the final drive. So you're deciding who's going to make final drive for beagles.
Right.
And then all the other hound dogs, they do their final drive. And then you go back in and you do a final drive for the hounds.
Okay.
And then whoever wins that goes against the best, herding dog and all those kind of things. So that's what they do. But it can start as early as 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you follow us on Facebook, we do have a Conroe Kennel Club Facebook, and we'll post the link to something called the judging schedule, the judging program. And you can look on there and you can see what time each breed is supposed to be judged and what ring they'll be in. And then you can scroll a little bit. It's a giant PDF document.
Right.
And you just scroll a little bit and you'll see what the order of that ring is, and you can find the breed of choice within
Wow.
that ring. So it can go for quite some time. Usually it starts at 8. And then at the end of the night, we compete for best in show. And the coolest thing about our area is you're going to see dogs there that you're going to see later on the big TV
Right.
for Westminster, or even
On Thanksgiving Day.
well, yes, or all those big ones that you see on TV. Westminster, the National Dog Show is going to happen in Orlando over, I think it's December 13th that weekend. That's usually televised, so you're going to see all of those dogs at the Conroe show. So it is
Wow.
really exciting. We have lots of really nice dogs that are
Right.
nationally ranked, so it's really pretty cool.
So if somebody locally had a dog they were interested in entering because they've been working with their dog, how would they enter them?
Well, the entries are due by tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Okay.
So they would need to have an AKC number. So they have to be an AKC registered dog, and they have to be intact. So they cannot be neutered or spayed.
Okay.
Because remember, this is a breeding stock
Yes.
program. Now, if they're neutered or spayed and you still want to do something with them, you could do those performance events that I was
Right.
talking about. But because this is a breeding stock, we're not going to do that. So they would have to enter through our what do we call that? You have to enter through Ano Frio. That's the company that runs our dog shows for us. Superintendent. So they
Okay.
run the dog show for us. So there's a website. You can go through them, and you just do online entry. With your credit card, they'll take your money.
Gladly.
And that's how you enter. And if you need a mentor, kennel clubs are big on providing mentors to each other. So if you are listening and you want to get in, you just kind of get on our Facebook group and say, hey, I show whatever. I'm looking for someone to help me. And we'll kind of figure that out and get somebody mentored, because it's a little bit confusing sometimes. And it's easier if you have a friend.
Right.
Just like when you show pigs, as mom, it was easier when another mom was like, hey, this is what you do.
Yes.
So we do the same thing for each other. We mentor each other and try to get people kind of groomed along the way. So
That's very cool.
Are there any tickets that people need to purchase to come in?
Not to our show.
No? Okay.
No. But the show we talked about that's in July down in Houston,
Yes.
it's so large, that's a show where you have to buy tickets to go to it.
Yeah, my parents brought me to that one in Houston when I was younger. It was so fun.
So you remember how large it is.
Yes.
It's just,
it's even bigger now.
Yes.
if you're familiar with the rodeo, it takes up the same amount of area as the rodeo.
It's huge. But it's a fun, free event, and especially
Okay.
coming right after Thanksgiving. I'm sure you all love family togetherness. But, you can come out to the
Yeah.
fairgrounds and see a dog show, and it's free, and it's awesome vendors. So you have a lot of fun things going on.
Oh, and you can come and go if I wanted to see the Basset Hounds. Just look up what time they're.
Yeah, definitely.
ring.
And usually we'll have that judging program on probably not next week, but the week after. It's usually about 2 weeks before the event starts.
Okay.
So,
Wow. Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks.
I know. It's kind of crazy. but
It's
yes.
crazy. Well, is there a website where anyone can get any additional information?
Most of the things that we do now, we're running through Facebook.
Okay.
So the Facebook site is probably the easier one. We do have a website, but it's just for cute pictures of dogs,
Right.
which
So
you might like.
If they're on Facebook, who do they search for? Conroe Kennel Club?
Conroe Kennel Club.
Perfect. Is there anything else you think our listeners should know about your amazing show in a couple weeks?
I can't think of anything. Come join us.
Right.
we
Come
have a lot of
see.
fun.
Come out and
It
visit.
is a large event for
Good.
Conroe.
It's family friendly, and I think that you hit on that, and I think that's important to hit on is, Thanksgiving weekend is about spending with your family and being, just together, and I think that this is a great family friendly event where you can come out and everybody can get something out of it and, get the good feels and just continue that Thanksgiving on. All right. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate it, and we
Thank
look
you
forward
for
to the
having
event.
us.
Of course. We need to take a quick break, but stay tuned. Up next, we'll be visiting with Mike with the Texas Custom Knife Show. You're listening to Keeping Up with Conroe, hosted by Visit Conroe.
An estimated 1 in 10 births will result in a neonatal intensive care stay, also known as the NICU. Overnight, a family can find themselves and their newborn baby in a critical situation. The Mila Foundation financially and spiritually assists families in need. If you would like to volunteer or become a monthly sponsor, please visit us at www.themilafoundation.org. Again, that's www.themilafoundation.org, because every life matters.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
We have the safest food supply in the world. Strict laws and regulations restrict the usage of hormones, antibiotics, and pesticides within our food supply. Production agriculture practices and technologies such as the use of GMOs, which is not any more or less risky than conventional crop production, has allowed American farmers to produce more food on less acres in environmentally sound ways. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make lives better.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show. If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
And we are back. You are listening to Keeping Up with Conroe. I'm your host, Jody.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are here with Visit Conroe. Our next guest is Mike Thomas with the Texas Custom Knife Show. How are you today?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. We're doing good. So you have a little event coming up. You expect a couple thousand people.
Hopefully, the more the merrier. It's a big, wide open field. We can hold a lot of people out there all day. So
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
So this is the second year of your event. This is the Texas Custom Knife Show. Tell us how y'all got started.
So a lot of people know and are familiar with, and maybe even fans of the TV show Forged in Fire. It's through 6 seasons now. It's on the History Channel. The History Channel back, a few years ago, of course, getting it started, wanted to create a hit reality show, and they kind of copied the idea of Chopped. Everybody's seen Chopped on the Food Network.
Yes.
Well, they wanted their version of that history style.
Right.
So they went way back in time and said, let's get guys who make knives, right? Knives go back thousands of years. So they created a show, and this is kind of neat, actually. So they reached out to the bladesmithing community and said, how do we make this thing work? And one of the people they contacted to do like the pilot before the pilot is Guy Harris right here in the Woodlands.
Oh, wow.
He lives right here. So he was actually in the premise of that, helped get that off the ground. And then he came back and appeared on an episode in the first season. And he was the champion. He won.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was one of the
That's
first champions that there
amazing.
was. He had the idea to get it started, and he came to me. I've been planning concerts and sporting events, and I've been kind of an event planner and stuff for the best part of 30 years. So he and I knew each other before. We put our heads together, and we did the first one last year at the fairgrounds. But this year, Southern Star stepped up and said, hey, why don't y'all come do it over here? And nothing's more fun than, beer and knives together, right? What can go wrong?
I mean,
and
nothing.
Fire. And fire, right? It's perfect.
Right.
So.
Sounds like the perfect afternoon.
So fun.
So you were going to have so when is this event?
So it is this Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, coming right up. The 16th from 12 to 8. We'll open the gates at noon. And we're going to have 25 bladesmiths who have been contestants on Forged in Fire. So there's people don't know. This is kind of I guess the word is kind of a subculture kind of in a way or whatever. It's just there's a lot of fans of the show, but there are 25 guys in our area who've competed on the show, and several of them were winners. So who knew that Texas had a lot of good knife makers, right? But we do, right? It makes sense.
Yes.
No, we've got contestants and participants coming from Bastrop, from Belleville, from College Station, one from Oklahoma. He's a fan favorite. Everybody likes him, Ray. So, there's a lot of people converging on Conroe for the event. But we're going to have 25 of those guys. And one of the funnest things we're going to do out there is we're going to almost like mock the TV show. We're not mock it. We're going to simulate it. It. We're going to have an actual knife building contest. 7 of the bladesmiths from Forged in Fire they're going to do a 2-hour contest. They're going to make a knife.
So they're just going to start out with metal, and then it's going to be a knife.
Exactly.
Wow.
So they're bringing their forges, their grinders, their sanders, their hammers, everything, all their tools.
Wow.
They're going to be all set up. It's the real deal. They're going to be on the clock, 2 hours, ready, set, go. And then we're going to do the real judging of the knives, testing the strength and sharpness of the blades. It's literally just like the show.
So who are your judges? Are they locals? Did you have to bring them from out of town?
So that's actually kind of a neat idea, the way that's kind of all come together as well. We actually have some local celebrities.
Oh. Okay.
Media personalities doing it.
Yeah.
So if I can kind of mention a couple of other radio people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if anyone listens to the Rod Ryan Show, 94.5 The Buzz, his sidekick, Alex Middleton, is a friend and fan of my partner, Jacob, who's helping me put it together this year. Jacob was with Brave Hawk Forge. He's right here, Conroe resident.
Right.
So he's helping me put it on together. So Alex from The Buzz.
Wow.
A lot of people know Cowboy Dave from
Yes,
100.3 The Bull.
I do.
Cowboy Dave is coming out to be a judge.
We might have to go out there. Do a little celebrity stalking.
Some celebrity pictures.
And if you are a bourbon fan as well, we have another a fan of the show and a former Marine who owns a very big and nationwide popular company called America Bourbon, Derek Sisson. Houstonian and, like I said, owner of that company. He's coming out to judge as well. So
will he be bringing bourbon? I mean, because I think that's a perfect addition to fire, metal, knives.
The legal answer is no, because we're holding this at a brewery. So
sorry, Dave.
So no, it is going to be a lot of fun, and these judges they're raring to go. They're not going to be easy to impress. So
that is very cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
That is amazing.
Okay, so I see you have a silent auction on that day. Can you tell us some of the items, maybe some sneak peeks of the things out there?
You bet. So Texans, people in our area would like to give back.
Yes.
And Casualties of War Houston is an amazing charity. They're an amazing organization that supports families of veterans and families of first responders who have been affected by their careers.
Right.
And so they're in need of resources. So when other resources have been exhausted, because there's obviously a lot of great organizations that support those people, support those families. But they provide additional living expenses and resources. So the auction, 100% of the proceeds, all of it is going to help them. But the Forged and Fire guys have stepped up when they found out what we were doing and who we were doing it for. If you've followed our social media, we're on Facebook and Instagram and everything, or if you've just seen the show and the work that they can create, these guys have donated, knives, other blades. One of the guys donated he made a custom hammer, bladesmith style. But he engraved it and he made a special encased box with our logo on it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a collector's item. It's beautiful. And so that's going to be one of the items up for auction as well. So
that is amazing.
Come support the organization, the Casualties of War. And like I said, we'll be having a live auction later in the afternoon. I think that's going to kick off around 4. So.
Okay. So I saw that you're going to have a tomahawk throwing competition. What is this exactly?
Yeah, so my buddy Jacob, he has Braveheart Forge. And he makes tomahawks. And so his fun, and he was a contestant on the show as well. He was just on in May, season 6, episode 15. And he made it to the finals. So, he knows his stuff. But what he makes tomahawks. So his business, he has the targets and the throwing. So y'all got to come out. You got to test your luck, test your. Now. Yes, it is. So you guys got to come out and test your skills so you can hit the bullseye.
Yes.
But when he sets up like this, he runs a day-long contest and he keeps score. And then he always gives a prize back to the winner. Usually it's one of his hand-forged tomahawks.
Wow.
So
you have to have some arm strength for this.
The adrenaline gets pumping. I've seen everybody do it and do it well, big and small. You don't have to be big and small. No, you really don't. So
how do you get registered for that? If you want to try your hand at it.
You just come on out. You just show up and walk right up to his booth and say, "I'm next."
Pick me.
Exactly. No, everybody will have a turn and everyone will get some throws, and it really is. It's fun. It's addicting just to to throw.
It's fun to watch too. I was watching people doing it last weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
So where can you get tickets? Can you get them at Southern Star, or is it online?
You can go online right now before the event. It's on Eventbrite. You can just, if you've used Eventbrite at all, you just search Texas Custom Knife Show. Tickets are only $6. We want it to be family friendly. It is family affordable. It's just a $6 ticket. Children under 12 are free, so they can come on in and you can take pictures, get some autographs. Also, we want to let yesterday was Veterans Day, so we want to let veterans know, those who have served and protected us, and first responders, they can get in free as long as they bring the appropriate ID. So we want to take care of those guys and gals who take care of us.
Right. So I read on your website, I think, that you have some vendors coming. And then one of our own coworkers actually has his own vendor spot out there.
Good.
Yeah, he's pretty excited. He's with his little Nick's Knives, and so he's excited. What other vendors are you going to have out there?
It's really a variety. Of course, most of them have to do with the knife making and knife building industry, hobbies, crafts, things like that. Kind of how that's categorized. There'll be, a few others, and we have some family-friendly things for kids to do, some fun things to do. Casualties of War, I think, is bringing out some things for the kids to do
that's
as well.
fun.
So that's going to be really, really neat. One of our sponsors, of course, Tune Up Manly Salon right here, the Conroe location right here on 105. I think they are going to have a booth set up, and I think they're going to be doing like beard trims and some things like that. So you can kind of guys can
get cleaned up while they're out there.
Cleaned up a little bit, look sharp. So.
Pick a knife, throw a tomahawk, get a good shave. The men are set.
Yes.
Be looking real good. So live music as well. Southern Star always comes through with some good beer and some good music. So on the stage in between our other action events and things, the band will be playing. But another thing that we're going to be doing that day, this is always one of my favorite parts because I love stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's cool being in a studio like this, right?
Right.
You get to see everything behind the scenes. But when the contestants get up and do the Q&A about what it was like to actually be on the show
Right.
and tell some cool stories and talk about the show hosts and the judges and the stuff like that, that's actually really interesting and entertaining, and they're going to do that twice during the day
wow.
as well. So
That would be cool to listen to,
Yeah.
some behind the scenes.
Yeah, all
Get
about the cameras. And
get the
where you gotta
gossip.
stand.
yeah, exactly.
How many takes did it actually take?
Yeah, exactly.
That is so cool.
So, tell us about where we can park for this event. Is it on site at Southern Star or somewhere else?
Yep, there's plenty of parking there, and obviously, old man winter kind of hit us today a little bit, but the weather's going to turn back around like it can change quickly here in Texas.
Welcome to Texas.
Yep, exactly. So back up to 60 degrees and no rain forecast for Saturday.
Perfect.
And if you've been to Southern Star, you know they have a lot of the paved area, but they also have the back area field as well.
That's what I
So
was
we
thinking,
expect
too.
I was out there for an event 2 weeks ago, and it drew hundreds and hundreds of people, and there was still plenty of parking.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
parking's free. I'm not charging for that, obviously, but you can get your tickets right at the gate if you haven't already purchased them online. So
And obviously, we love our Southern Star beer. So while you're there, get yourself one.
Some good beer over there.
Yes, we love our Southern Star.
absolutely, no. Southern Star's really stepped up and helped us a lot. Again, offered to host it this year and done a lot to promote it. But the Conroe business community has been really supportive and receptive. Of course, the first year you do an event, you're just kind of getting it off the ground. But
Right.
this year, I mentioned Tune Up has been really supportive. But other chamber members, Excalibur, Pest Control, Craig and his team, incredible business. But when you have a business that's named after the most famous sword of all time,
Oh well, yeah, you
you
must.
got to be involved with the Texas Custom Knife Show.
You must work together.
So Excalibur has been really great, and Astro Fence is a repeat sponsor. They've helped us both years now, and Jared and his team are just fantastic. So thank you. I got to mention that to the business
Wow.
community and our sponsors have
Yes.
been just very, very supportive. In addition to Texas Knife Makers Supply, their Houston business, but they obviously are in the knife industry, and so is Paragon Kilns. Paragon's a repeat sponsor. And if you're in the knife making industry, you know Paragon. I promise you that. So,
Okay.
but no, it's going to be a fun time. Perfect weather, just a lot of fun, and
Yeah, sounds fun.
Right. We might have to stop by.
All right.
Was there any other information that our guests should know, our listeners should know?
I just the knife building contest is probably going to be one of the highlights of the day, and it kicks off around 1 o'clock. The gates
Okay.
open at 12. So if you want to see the start and the best part of that contest, the guys really forging and going at it, you want to definitely be there before and by 1 o'clock. So
And how long does the event all day? How long is it all day?
all day we'll wrap up about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
All righty.
So.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on and chatting with us about your event. We hope that it continues to grow and you come back next year and you have an even bigger event.
Thank you to the support you've given us. This whole campaign, this whole project from start to finish, just everything y'all have done has been very helpful.
Great. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. Up next, we will be meeting with Jody about FaithFest. That's coming up pretty quickly. You are listening to Keeping Up with Conroe, hosted by Visit Conroe.
Statistics show that 1 out of every 6 Texans struggles with food insecurity and hunger. And many people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. The Better Living for Texans program is here to help you learn how to make healthy menu choices, save money at the grocery store, prepare quick and delicious meals, get more good nutrition in your day, and get more physical activity. Classes are fun, friendly, interactive, and free, and taught in English and Spanish. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Hey, Montgomery County and online listeners. Thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CeCe Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B and, of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
And we are back. We are here today with our favorite councilman, Jody Chakowski. Except today we're going to be talking about FaithFest coming up. How are you?
I'm good, Jody. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. So tell our new listeners that don't know about FaithFest what a FaithFest is.
FaithFest was started about 7 years ago here through Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Conroe and Conroe, West Conroe Baptist here in Conroe. And it's a partnership between local Christian churches to promote Christian unity by service. So we started 7 years ago putting together a music concert, a music festival to raise funds and awareness for our local charities.
Right.
And this year we've had thousands of attendees in the past, and this year our it's going to be held November 25th at Sacred Heart Church here in Conroe, downtown Conroe. The event starts at 7 p.m. and we're featuring recording artist Matthew West, who is top 5 Christian contemporary artist. And the show lasts for about 3 hours. It's great for families, great for kids, and in the breaks of the artist, we bring on and do presentations from local charities. And this year we're benefiting Project Mentor, which started here out of Conroe High School and has a few hundred mentors that service our kids of the community, and all our kids are looking for guidance. And I'm actually a mentor, been involved with the program for going on 4 years, and it's a simple program. I have lunch with a kid during the school year.
Right.
Once a week, and I get to know him and build a relationship. So when he's in need or needs someone as a mentor, he'll call me. So wonderful program, sponsored and directed by Angela Matthews. The other charity we're benefiting is Compassion United, who rehabilitates the homeless here in Conroe, and they're actually in the process of building a Miracle City, which is going to be a community network there to help people get their confidence back, show them a lot of love, get job training, get housing, transportation, and it's much easier to get someone off the streets when they've hit tough times when you can provide a place for them to sleep and learn and a good, loving family. So excited about FaithFest 2019.
Those are some amazing charities. I think that's important with our youth to continue to show, especially some that are at risk, to have somebody that they can just have support them and, love on them. And, so I think those are two amazing. And then, of course, with our homeless, I think that's an amazing opportunity for them.
So what can one expect when they come to this event? Is it mostly a concert, or
we the first few events we had were an all-day festival, and we scaled it back. We actually we do it on Monday night, which is the Monday before Thanksgiving. So a lot of people are getting out of school, a lot of families are coming to town. It's a good way to start the holiday, and our country and our world is in need of service, and we try to find groups. FaithFest, we act as an incubator for nonprofits. So we go around. My background's in business. I've started many companies. Some have handed me my hat, and some have been very successful. But
Right.
through the process of starting ventures, you learn. So usually I can interview a nonprofit, and within 5 minutes I can figure out a way that we can help, whether they need funding, they need a grant writer, they need accounting systems, sometimes they need help with marketing, sometimes they need help with real estate and construction needs. Other times it's just a matter of opening doors and raising awareness for what they're doing. So we don't reinvent the wheel. We try to find the groups that are doing God's will and see if we can help them with a little business acumen. So every year we pick up new charities, and we've worked now with Compassion for 2 years, and Project Mentor. This is the first year that we've sponsored Project Mentor.
That's very cool. And so I know you sell out every year. You have the last couple of years.
Last year we sold out, yeah. It was a
Ahead of
wonderful
time.
event.
And that says a lot about the Faith Fest and, what it brings to the community. So if somebody wanted to get tickets, how would they go about it?
Hey, the best way is to just go online, go to our website, which is faith-fest.org, and that's faith, F-A-I-T-H, -fest, F-E-S-T.org. I'll tell you, our sponsorships are doing well this year, and we still have sponsorship opportunities available from $600 to $10,000 for a stage sponsorship. I want to mention that we've got Woodforest Bank has been one of our artist sponsors now going on the 5th year. We couldn't have built the organization and the event without them. So special thanks to Mike White and Patricia over at Woodforest.
Yes.
They've been a blessing. This year we actually, and last year we brought on University of St. Thomas as an artist sponsor as well. They're opening a micro campus here in downtown Conroe. They're wanting to get plugged in the community, and they're they're a Christian. They're a Catholic university, and they're here to help with social justice issues, and we're only as good as our weakest members of society. So those two groups have been with us. Yancey Concrete has been tremendous in helping this year as well, along with MHW Commercial Real Estate, which is a firm that I have an interest in. And my wife has been a good sponsor for us. She's a local criminal attorney, Nicole Chakosky, and has been sponsoring for 4 years now. So a couple people that we appreciate the love.
Right. Couldn't do it without them.
Couldn't do it without them. No. It's a grassroots effort, and for years we have not taken any money from churches this year, but for years, Sacred Heart, West Conroe Baptist, First Baptist, Grace Lutheran, Lone Star Cowboy Church, and Caney Creek Cowboy Church, and then last year the Vineyard Church. But all those groups have given sponsorships to keep this thing afloat. And now the private side has stepped up and given us enough money to hire the artist and have a good event. But last year at the end of the event, we cut checks for $12,000 apiece to our local ministries, which last year was Compassion United and St. Vincent de Paul. So very successful event, and after we paid the artist and cash flowed about 50 cents on the dollar to the charities, which was the best we've ever done.
Amazing. That is great. So if somebody was interested in sponsoring, asking or learning more about your sponsorships that are still available, who do they contact?
Best thing is just call me. My cell phone is 713-560-6069, and I'll give them
brave man.
the history of FaithFest, and I'll give them all the information that they need.
That's wonderful.
So, it'll be a wonderful family night. It's kind of a modern day revival to get our youth together and hear some wonderful Christian music.
Right.
And then at the same time, they'll come out of there with their heart on fire for service
Right.
and volunteer opportunities and sponsorship opportunities as well. So it's been a good place, and Conroe's been good to us.
Okay, and if anyone was interested in volunteering their time, who would they contact or how they get involved in that?
They can call me as well, and we're Holly Arbuckle is running our volunteer coordination this year, and just call me and I'll direct them where they need to go from there.
Perfect.
And anything, they can go to the website for any needs, again at www.faith-fest.org. November 25th, 2019. We're going to introduce a family package to where you can get basically 4 tickets for the price of 3, and that includes your meal for the evening. So, last year it sold out the day of the event. If you want to make sure you're going to get a ticket, I would go ahead and go online now and buy your tickets. But it'll be a wonderful, wonderful evening.
All right. Was there any other information you think that we missed that our listeners should know?
Conroe is the greatest city in America.
Well, of course it is.
You're helping us do our job.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you.
And good people to work with here. So great
We do.
community and great community to raise a family. Wonderful school, beautiful parks.
It is that.
Plenty of jobs going on around.
That's right.
And we got an airport and a lake.
Yeah, there we go.
And a national forest.
Yes, we do. We're a pretty blessed little city.
And a Jody with an I and a Jody with a Y.
That's right. With the two Jodys, we're set. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. But we do have, before we go for the day, we do have a couple events that you might be aware of, Jody, coming up that we want to highlight. We do have a pretty cool boxing event coming up.
Yes, and that's going to be at the Lone Star Convention Center this Saturday.
And I heard they had this last summer, and it sold out. So I did hear a lot of good things about it. So, and we currently are doing ticket giveaways on our Facebook page for that. So,
What time does that start Saturday?
I think it starts about 8 o'clock at the convention center.
I'll have to check that out.
I know. I'm excited. And then Thanksgiving dinner is coming, or Thanksgiving Day is coming up. And so the VFW Post 4709 is hosting Thanksgiving dinner for those in need at the VFW Hall on Thanksgiving Day. And that happens to be the largest VFW hall in the nation. So we should be proud of that. Wow. And I love that they continue to give back.
And they have the coldest beer in the county.
Yes. Well, you know, they are veterans. They do know their beer. Yes. And then you will be at this event.
Yes. So on December 1st, there's the Conroe 10 miler out at the Lone Star College in Conroe.
Yep. Will we see you running, Jody?
No.
You never know. Probably chasing a kid down the road.
I won't be there. I don't run unless being chased. So.
Yep, and we're hoping for great weather that morning.
Yes.
It's going to be a good turnout.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we have the Conroe tree lighting. And that is coming up super quick.
I'm so excited for
I
that.
love
It's
watching the mayor light the tree. That is the coolest thing. I think that's like the highlight of Christmas season for me, is watching him light it and, speak about Conroe and, his love for Conroe, and then having the youth come out there and they sing. Sure. And I think that is one of the coolest things that Conroe has.
Gets you right into the Christmas
It does.
spirit.
I think it does.
So fun, and just walking downtown.
Yes. And I hear that downtown on Main Street, they're going to be doing some window art displays, and they're going to have, you can walk into a store and some will be, having hot chocolate and wassail and, so there's going to be a whole little Christmas thing that evening. So
it's a wonderful event.
Yeah.
It grows every year. I
Yes.
think the mayor started that, 5 years ago, and it's jam-packed last year. Wonderful event. I'll be there, of course, with my family, representing the city of Conroe and city council position. But y'all come on out.
Yes, everyone. All right. Was there anything else you can think of that I'm missing that we didn't talk about?
All I can think of right now.
Right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy couple weeks. All right. Well, you want to know about local hidden treasures, looking for things to do in Conroe? The goal of Keeping Up with Conroe is to promote all that Conroe has to offer to residents and visitors. So tune in monthly. We are here live the second Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. And after the show airs, we will post on podcasts and YouTube and social media. So check out our website at visitconroe.com or follow us on all the social media platforms at Visit Conroe, and tune in regularly to Keeping Up with Conroe.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.